Hi, everyone. Welcome to Module 2. I hope Module 1 wasn't too difficult for you. So this is the Module 2 overview. And so this week, we're going to be addressing a couple different areas, but really two main topics. The first is corporal punishment. And as you can see through the discussion, it's in the assignments, I've kind of alluded towards corporal punishment. I haven't actually used the term in there because I really want you to explore this a little bit deeper. But when we think of punishments, are we being too lenient in current correctional practices? Have we gone so far left that individuals are just not learning from the actual punishment? Or are we not going far enough to the right and actually implementing some type of corporal punishments as a means of deterring? And this is really the point of all of this is really to identify the evolution of corrections, where it was acceptable at one time to chop off a hand from somebody that stole something, or to cut the tongue out of somebody else's mouth for uttering negative things about the government. So when we look at it in that extreme sense, then the answer is always going to be no. But when we look at it and say, in the sense of, say, child molester, is it acceptable in our society today to do chemical castration? In other words, make it so that the individual does not have that sexual motivation to commit the crime. The second part of this is to understand the hedonistic calculus, Bentham's concept of the certain swift and severe punishment. And in my face-to-face classes, I often refer to this as the habitual spanker. And I use the example of my older brother when he was raising his children, that he spanked them for everything, to the point that he called his nephew over his son over once. And the boy turned around and my brother spanked him a few times and the boy didn't cry. And he was around like 8. And I thought about it for a long time afterwards and said that this isn't certain, it's not swift, and it's not severe. If we're thinking about punishments, in effective punishments, those of you that have been spanked when you were children, you remember it, and it was an immediate reaction, and you knew that behavior, whatever it was, probably you weren't going to repeat it again. It's kind of like the kid that puts their hand on the stove. You burn yourself once, you automatically know that if you did it again, you're going to get burned. So that was the concept of Bentham and Cesar Becerra, that these classical conditionists, they really believed in that punishments needed to be harsh, but they didn't need to exceed the crime. So as we discuss these issues this week, I look forward to your responses. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me.